Hello, hello, friends. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hello, Denise and Patricia, Deborah, Vicky, Susan, Krista, Lori. Hello, hello. Hey, Jen. Hey, Jennifer. Hello to everyone. Okay, so lots to talk about tonight. We have lovely layers ready to go. I've got lots of die cuts out here. We're going to do some ink blending and put together an adorable card. Saturday class. So I see some questions about Saturday's class. We will do like a short little prep time at the beginning of class. Do a little bit of die cutting. I don't even have it prepped yet, so no big deal. But if you want to prep beforehand, cut yourself for that specific card. I did one round of flowers, 2 rounds of leaves, and you should be good to go. And then the mailbox is pretty self-explanatory, but we'll talk about all that at the beginning of the class. So hello in Tennessee, lovely layers. Yes. Let's see. Did somebody see Lisa is here? Is the boss lady here? She may be here. Is she? Yep, there she is. Okay. I always like to know when my boss lady bestie is here in the house. Let's see. Hello. Okay. So first of all, let's get our little bit of housekeeping out of the way first. Of course, we've discussed it a little bit. Our class is coming up this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Lisa, I believe she can tell us over in the chat. Believe she's going to send out another little reminder with the link and everything. If you need that link and it's not live right now, I've gotten lots of questions of people worried that the link is not live. It's not going to be live until 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. If you need that information, if you'll email me, Kelley, Kelley at honeybeestamps.com, I will take care of all of that for you. I also saw mentioned that a lot of people are going to take part in the class, but don't have the supplies. That is fine. I'm going to walk you through, and you'll see some of it tonight, walk you through a little bit of how I ink blend florals, starting with white paper. So if you're interested in that and want to create with whatever you have, we just want you to show up and take part and have a good time. Okay, the other thing, next Wednesday is our release night. Of course, you all know that we're going to have a release party. There's always lots of fun, giveaways. You're going to see me talk and go through everything as fast as I can. And, this is our birthday release. So the biggest release of the year every year is our birthday release. So usually I try to keep that release party right about an hour. Let's hope Kelley can talk that fast. So we'll see how that goes. Okie dokie. Oh, I don't know why I'm showing you that again. Let me click back up here on my comments. Woohoo for release day. Yes. Okay. So let's go down here to my desk view and let's do a little chit chat about what you guys have seen so far. So you have seen the Sandy's Garden 3D embossing folder and our lovely layers hummingbird. And then we've got a new add-on or a couple of new add-ons for our vintage gift card box. And this is the candle box. We had a lot of fun. I love this card. I love the bright paper and everything. And then on Monday night, I shared with you the bees and bonnets, stamps, dies, and stencils. So all of these little images were colored in with the stencils. And if you want to catch any of these replays, you can go to our YouTube channel and catch those there. But you can see I am in love with all these little bees and bugs, and they're the little bee butt is what we're calling it there, stuck down in that flower. Okay, so without further ado, because I've got some ink blending to share with you all this evening, I'm going to bring over some of the die cuts from the new lovely layers. Let's see what we're calling this. April Showers die set. This is a large die set. Let's get all these little guys kind of lined up here so I don't make a mess. I'm going to move this up here on my screen a little bit. Okay, now I know they're going to be hard to see for just a minute because These I have cut out of white cardstock. I've got them laid out kind of in the colors that I'm going to ink blend them in. Now, some of these are going to go with others, and we'll get into all that as I build everything and put it together. You are seeing a new sweet little birdie that's going to go on this card. It's in this die set, and I know a lot of you love all of our little layering birds and things like this. This one is a new size. Absolutely adorable. And so here we go. So this little row of flowers and a little center here, I am going to ink blend. Let me make sure I grab the correct brush. I'm going to ink blend in an orange. Now, those of you who know me know that I love to start with a dirty brush because these bristles trap in a lot of ink. And so I always recommend, start with your dirty brush first, see what you get. And then if you need more ink, you can always dip back in, but you can't ever take the ink away. So I am just going to layer this on here. And I'm going to flick this one up from the bottom half because I know that this curve right here is at the bottom of that little flower. And so I'm going to get it darker on the bottom than I do on the top. All right, so let's move on here. And this color, if anybody is looking, I believe is spiced marmalade, which is kind of that yellowy orange. And because I didn't dip back into that ink pad, it's leaving it a little more, it's going to look very yellow on your screen. But in real life, it's that yummy, let me pull it out here. It is a really pretty, like, orangey color. Okay, now this little flower here is a tulip. And I'm going to start up here. This is going to be my darkest layer, and I am going to do my tulip in saltwater taffy. And again, just like I did this little orangey yellow flower, I'm going to make the bottommost layer of that flower my darkest layer, and then I'm going to ease up on the pressure and the way that I do the brush as I move down. So for this layer that I want really deep and dark, I am giving those bristles a big workout there and really rubbing that on. Now I know I need to switch these two because this little guy needs to go down here. So let's get him in his spot. This one is going to be a little bit darker. And so this is the way that I like to get more bang for my buck out of my ink colors. And we'll talk about that in the class on Saturday as well. And it, it's a way for us to be able to get different, light and dark using the same ink, if that makes sense. Now, this little petal here is going to be the very lightest petal. And so I'm going to start from the bottom because that's where those bristles are going to deposit most of the pigment. And then just kind of barely kiss the top of it there and leave it really light. Let's see here. I'm going to need to find my little cloth. My fingers are yellow. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and move on. Now, this line of flowers here, you'll see that this looks like a violet or a pansy, and this is a little crocus. Let's move this little guy. We don't want him to be purple. So I'm going to move those little dudes out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to start out the bottommost layer of the crocus flower in a really deep dark purple. This is Dusty Concord. And so I'm going to do deep and dark, moving my way from the bottom up to the top, and you can kind of see that fade there. I like that. And then I'm going to take the same color and a little bit lighter this time because this is going to layer over that dark piece. So I've really loosened up on the grip there, and then you can see how we're going to get the light and dark there. Now for our little pansy or violet. This is going to go down here. This is the bottom layer. So I'm going to put a lot of muscle into this one. just like so. And then this top layer, I'm actually going to take my brush that is for milled lavender, which is that really, really light kind of dusty purple. And then I'm going to do this one a little bit different than that little crocus, so we don't run into them looking like the same color. So that's going to give me that light, really light lavender color. Okay, now let's put my purple brushes away. And then let's get to this little stack right here, this little funny stack. A couple of these are the center of the flowers, and then this little guy is actually part of the inside of this one, and these are all going to be in a yellow. So this is my mustard seed brush, and all of these, and I may need to dip. Yep. So you can always tell when you need to dip in again. I'm going to give it a little bit of a rub down there. And these all I'm doing with the same amount of pressure because they're going in on different flowers. So there we go. Let me set my yellow brush aside. All right. All of these down here are all going to be this is the base to this flower, but it has a lot of the little green little pieces that open up. And these four right here are all leaves. So I am going to use my Rustic Wilderness brush. Now for these two kind of longer leaves, they've got the little point in them to where the leaves look like they kind of curl around on themselves. And so I'm actually going to do the tips of these leaves a little bit darker than I do down here. So it looks like it's got a little bit of that shadow there, and I'm going to dip into my ink. And there we go. Swirl it this way and that. Stick, stick, stick. And then pull that green the rest of the way down. And it's going to give me a little bit of where it looks like it's kind of folded over on itself. Okay, now for these two here, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. You can kind of follow the veins and the lines in the die cuts to see, you know, which direction you want to run your ink in your little brushes. Stick, stick, stick. So these are going to kind of be the opposite of these two. Now this little guy, he can be an all over. I'm just going to go to town on him because mainly we want to get nice color on those bottom little leaves and things that stick out. Okay, now we're moving on to our cute little birdie. All right, Rustic Wilderness is my very favorite green. You can get a lot of variation just with that one color. Okay, so my little birdie here. This is obviously, let me see if I can't do a little shimmy down here, but you know, everything is going to stick. This little piece right here is going to be the undermost piece, and then we have a middle and then the top. And so my bottom piece, I'm going to take my walnut stain brush and let's do, I'm trying to decide here where I want to start his color and what I want to make darkest. I'm going to start here to his feet, and I'm going to give him a really good rub down with my walnut stain brush without dipping in. And his little feet and his underbelly are going to be a little bit darker than up here on his head. Okay. And then we have our middle layer. And this one is going to be a little bit lighter. This is my brush for antique linen. I'm just going to give it an all over kind of rub down. Okay. And then let me find, let's do this number here. And it's going to go something like so. And then this layer, we're going to do gathered twigs. So it's going to be darker than the middle layer, but lighter than the bottom. And this is a new brush that hasn't gotten a lot of a workout yet. And so I'm going to have to dip into my Gathered Twigs ink. I'm going to start at the bottom and then work my way up. Just keep twirling that around until I'm pretty happy. Now I can always take it and kind of hold it over the top. And then I think that he's going to be cute like that. Let me take this little piece away. I'm going to darken up his bottom layer. So I've got my walnut stain. Let's make this layer just a little bit deeper and darker so we can really see the difference between this one and the top layer, which is here. Okay. All right. Now we've got all of our little pieces ink blended. So you know what we get to do next is we get to get our liquid adhesive and we get to start putting all these little layers together. Let's see here. I'm going to look here. What is this die set called? It is called Lovely Layers April Showers. Okay. So this is the bottommost layer to this little guy. And so I'm just going to do a little dot and then start building. And let me make sure, let me move up again without throwing all my little die cuts across the room. Let's see, let's grab this guy and let's make sure he's all lined up pretty where he's supposed to go. Okay, so we've got that one. And then let's see how we're looking here. And then this piece is going to go right in there. And you know what? I want this darker. So let's do, we're going to have a game plan change here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay him down right here. And I'm going to make him really dark. Okay. And then this little guy is going to fit right down in there. We need a little dot. And then it's going to nestle right down in there. Like so. And I'm going to hold it just for a second to let that liquid adhesive do its job. And now we'll take the top petals. And we'll add a little dab. And then we're going to nestle this one right down in here. And then this guy is all finished. And then when you see it, and if I tilt it in the light, you can see all the little embossed or debossed lines in that. That's where you can go in if you want to and add, you know, little details with your colored pencils or whatever you want to do. If you want to, if you like to add that. All right, so let's work on our little tulip. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive right down here. And then I can just take these pieces and they're just going to line up almost like you're fitting like a little puzzle piece together. And then the next lightest is going to go right over the top of that. I just like to pinch just for a second. And then we've got our last petal, and the lightest is going to go right on the top. This is also a really good die set. You guys were talking about those little tiny detail brushes. Like if you wanted to do an all over color like that and then go in with one of your little detail brushes and really darken up like down here at the base, those little brushes would be perfect for that. Okay, let's put together our little crocus. So this is the bottom layer. And then this funny thing right here that looks like a birdie foot or a chicken foot it is going to go in the center there. It's like the little stamen, and it's going to nestle down right in there. And there is a spot that is embossed there that shows you exactly where that piece goes. And then we're going to add our top piece. And that's going to go right over the top. And let me pick all this up and kind of make sure we've got it all shimmied around. That's adorable. Okay, so I'm going to lay that right up there. Isn't that so sweet? Okay, now we have our little pansy or our violet. And I can add a little bit of adhesive here. And then this one is going to layer right over the top. And then we have this yellow piece. It's going to go right in the center. And then this piece here, I'm going to darken up just like we did this one. And then I can just put like a little tiny dot. And then that is going to nestle right there. Okay, so we've got all of our little flowers done. We've got our leaves done. Now let's put together this little guy. I'm going to have to add his eyeball in there. Okay, so let's add his, nope, don't want that one. We want this one, is his middle layer. So there is a little embossed area, just like the little stamen area for the crocus, that has this little guy's, the area for his eye. I'm going to lay him down, and then I'm going to pick him up for a second so I can kind of just run my fingers right around the edges and make sure all his little parts and pieces are all put together. Now let's do this layer. And then that one is going to fit in right over the top. And then again, I'm going to pick him up and I'm going to make sure that everything is lined up. Okay, now before we get too far, let's go ahead and add his little eyeball, and then it'll have time to dry before we put him on the card. So I am taking my little gel pen, trying to find a winner here. And I start it over on a scrap piece of paper just to get that ink going. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to dot, 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 kind of his little eyeball area. And then if you wanted to, I mean, you could get really fancy and make his little beak colored as well. Okay, so I'm going to set this little guy aside. And again, you could go in on his little embossing lines and things, and you could color him blue, gray. You could make him maybe a little juvenile cardinal, you know, that, or a female cardinal that doesn't have the little toppers, the little top hat, but like a little spare. I mean, you could do your birdie in whatever color you want. Okay, so I'm going to set my whole mat of cute little die cuts. It almost looks like we're in, what's the movie that has the little flowers? Alice in Wonderland? Look, it reminds me of that. Okay, now let me pull out my little happy dish here, and I've got some other die cuts to share with you that I already have all together. Okay, so the little boots and the umbrella are all part of the same die set as all the little flowers that you just saw. So we have little layering rain boots. And you'll notice that they're 2 different sizes. And that's because you can kind of layer them together and you're getting the perspective of this one being, you know, sticking out further than the other one. And then there's a lot of different ways that you can play with the little umbrella. So you could have it tipped over on your card just like this. Fill it with all the little flowers. You could have your cute little birdie sitting up here. You could have your little birdie resting down here. You can fill your little boots with the little flowers. Tonight, we're going to play with all the things because it's too adorable. And I just can't get over how cute it is. Okay, so I'm going to set my umbrella and my little boots right up here. This is my card base. Okay, I'm using some of the new pattern paper from the Let's Party paper pad. And if I flip this over, this is something that you guys have seen me use several times. It's even on the little welcome screen before the video, but it's that really pretty stripe. And then I just cut a white oval to be kind of my little resting place for my little flowers and things. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of get the lay of the land here for my oval and where I want to place all of my little things. So we're going to kind of have our little boots here. Something maybe right down about here, I think. Okay, so I'm eyeballing. I'm going to move these out of the way, and I'm actually going to make a little shadow area. And so I'm going to move this, my Copic marker. This is a C2, and I'm going to go right down here, and I'm just going to start dragging from side to side. We're just going to make a little, could be a puddle. It could be just the shadow from all of our flowers and from our boots. Okay, so C2. And then this is a C0. And you'll notice where I'm starting on my cardstock, I want that heavier marker to kind of be right in there because I'm going to cover all that up. And this is going to fade out just a hair. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Let's see if Kelley can draw a straight line. Let me flick this side. Let's even up that side. Okay, now let's take a gander and let's see how we're doing here. And these are going to rest kind of right down in there. And then we're going to have our happy little umbrella. Something like so. Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to go here. All right. Let me just use my liquid adhesive since we've got it out here. Just some dot, dot, dot. There we go. And then I'm just going to plop it down and then pick it up and eyeball it. Let me get this going here. Where's my C2? I'm going to straighten out my line even more. Now let me pick it up and look at it. Maybe our horizon, my eyeball horizon is off. There we go. Okay, and then that's going to fade out some more again. All right, now my little boots. Let's see here if I can find, what did Kelley do with... There they are. And I'm reaching all the way across my desk here for my little foam dots. All right. So I'm going to add a little dot to each boot. And it's going to allow me to kind of give some space to be able to tuck the umbrella and the little flowers kind of back in there. And I may even, I'm going to put a little glue just on the tip, the toe of this boot. That way I can nestle them and then they're going to stay like they're kind of parked out on the front porch or out in the garden or whatever. And I'm going to nestle these guys kind of right down in there. I'm going to hold up again and see how we're looking before I really press. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see here. This is going to tuck in about like so. And now let's grab flowers. Okay, so I'm just going to move this closer to my desk here, or closer over here in my work area. And I'm just going to nestle, and then we're going to glue. So this little guy can go right in there. We're going to have that like that. We're going to have our, oh, that is so pretty and springtimey. And then we're going to have our little tulip can kind of nestle around. Let's see if I want to put him down in just a little bit. Just kind of get the lay of the land for a second. And then we've got a little leaf that can kind of go down that way. And then one that can kind of go down that way. And then we've got our two smaller leaves that I can kind of tuck in somewhere around like so. Okay. And then our little friend, he's going to perch right up there. Okay. Now hold on. Is this not flippin' adorable? Right? I need some low profile. Yes. He's so stinking cute. Look at him. And he's like checking out all the little flowers. I can just imagine that these are like just dripping with little raindrops or, you know, something. And he's so stinking cute. It just, you know, I get so excited. Okay, back to work, Kelley. Okay, here we go. Now that I've got the lay of the land here, now I'm going to start gluing. And let's start, I'm going to move this guy out of the way, and I'm going to start with this leaf right here because I know I can kind of tuck him in. So I'm going to tuck him in. Let's kind of have him out maybe kind of like that. And then this guy, I kind of want to leave him too. So let's go ahead and let's get him glued down a little bit. And actually, let's pop him up a little bit. Someone mentioned low profile foam dots. These are very low profile. And then we've got some that are even less. But if I hold it up and you see how thick they are, I believe they're 1/16 of an inch, which is not a lot. Okay, I'm going to slip this in. I don't care if that shows. That's going to kind of nestle right there. And let's have him kind of hang off the top there. Okay, let's move you, move you. All right, now let's go to our other long leaf. Okay. So this one is going to kind of tuck in right down in there. And then I can add this little flower. And we can probably pop him up. There we go. And he's going to sit right about there. And then let's do the tulip. I think I want to do this one next. I'm going to glue this one flat because I know that the little crocus, let's put him right about there. The little crocus and the little violet are going to kind of poke back in there. Okay, so let's add this little guy. I'm even going to move that. He's not going to look like he's inside the boot right now, but he will. He will when we're finished. And then the little violet, and let's pop him up too. So he's going to be on the tippy top of everything. Have raindrop embossing folder. Ooh, we do have clear dewdrops on the website. And then I'm going to nestle. Yep, I like these little green things. So I'm going to actually kind of nestle him. Just kind of like so. I don't know why I like those little things, but I think they're stinking cute. And then these little leaves, I'm going to glue down flat, but he's going to kind of tuck up in here like so. And then this guy. Like this. He's going to tuck up in there. And then we can't forget about this little guy right here. And you know I'm going to pop him up. All right, little buddy. And I'm just going to nestle him right on the toe of that little boot. Just like that. Okay, now let's add this to our card base. And you'll notice it's the same cardstock that I cut the little boots out of. So the boots and the umbrella are all solid colored cardstock. And then you guys saw all the white. So we mixed it up. And then let's put some glue back here. Then we just have to add a cute little sentiment. Okay, so I'm going to plop that down and then hold it up and shimmy it around into its spot. Okay, and then we got that down. Okay, now I'm going to show you this whole sentiment set, and hopefully Lisa doesn't fire me, because I need to find one that's going to be the perfect fit. Now this is called Blessings of Spring, and this is what, let me show it to you first. Okay, Blessings of Spring, it's got your time, it's your time to bloom, the time of singing birds has come. May your day bloom with happiness. Happy spring. When life gives you a rainy day, play in the puddles. Wishing you all the beautiful blessings of spring. Let's see. You are my sunshine. Celebrate new beginnings. Get well soon. Happy Easter. Hello. Spring blooms with a little dirt and rain. Okay. So this is what I like to do. I like to take these and I kind of like, you know, you have an idea of somewhere you want to put your sentiment. I kind of take them and, you know, hold them. Like if I wanted to put something right down here, I hold them up because it's going to kind of give me a look at where it can go and the size that I need. Like, for example, if I wanted to put something right there, like this little get well soon, I could die cut that and pop it right in there and it would just nestle, you know, right in there. Or the Happy Easter even. if I wanted something super tiny, or the hello would be adorable. And I can't decide. I really love this play in the puddles with the little bird. So I could even, die cut it and place it, right up there. I don't know. I'm so torn. Let's see here. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to do both. We are going to do both. Let me find my Misty because it's hiding under all the things. All right, I'm going to move this little guy out of the way. I'm going to pull out the good old Misty, and let's come back just a little bit. Okay, so on the front of the card, and this is what I do. See all my little die cuts here? I'm going to take the scrap, and I'm going to put my scrap piece of paper right down in here. And on my scrap, I'm going to stamp. First of all, I'm going to stamp the hello. I'm going to stamp the hello. Let's just put that little guy right there. And then I love this, when life gives you a rainy day, play in the puddles. Love that. So I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to stamp that one down in here. So let's pick them up. And I'm going to grab my VersaFine ink. We're just going to do basic black. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, now these are very fine, dainty fonts. So I don't have to push. All I have to do is give my stamps just a little bit of a tap tap on top, and then take a look. So I know I can push harder there, but I don't want to push so hard right off the bat that all your ink squishes out. See, we're looking better. 3 times for good measure. That's what Carol on our design team told me one time. Hit it a couple of times just for good measure. Okay, now we've got both of those sweet little sentiments. Let me close this up. And let me pull out the coordinating dies. Before I do that, let's give this a dry, because I would be heartbroken if black ink got on my cute little birdie. And like right there, whew, that was a close call. All right, so let's try this. Yay for coordinating dies, I know. And then I can stick them anywhere, right? All right, let's put that in there. Okay, coordinating dies. Now I get questions all the time, especially, I do all the customer care stuff of like, how do I line up the dies? There's a couple of ways to do that. First, do you know the trick about turning these upside down? And then you can kind of hold them over the top, like that, and kind of line them up. Or you can be like me, and I'm like, oh, that looks like the hello. And then kind of hold it over. Yep, that's it. And then I know this one is square and straight on the top. And then we've got the loopity-loops at the bottom for the puddles. This one looks like it probably does that one. And then there we go. All right, so let's get some tape to hold these down. And there we go. Let's make sure they're all lined up nicely, because then again, I would cry again if I messed up my sentiment. Let's get all those little swoops and loops all lined up. That's looking pretty darn good. Boop, boop. Okay, now because I'm running both of these, I'm just going to send it through the big machine so we can do it in a one and done. And then there we go. I've got stacks and stacks of inks and brushes and paper and plates and all the things. Okay, so let's pull this back. And I'm going to be really gentle. Pulling this off of here. There we go. There's one. The cute little puddles one. And then there's our little hello. Now I don't want to lose these two. And then let's pull this little guy back out. Okay. So now I've got this cute little hello. Let's just nestle him in. So this will be a little hello card plus like a little pick-me-up sentiment. Okay, grab hold. And then this is just I'm just going to nestle right down in there. And before that glue has time to really set up, I'm going to make sure that we're nice and straight. Cutesy, cutesy. And then this, let's add some dot, dot, dots, is going to go on the inside. Right in here. And then again, I like to pick it up and kind of hold it right in front of me. Hold it down. And then there we go. We've got hello. And then when life gives you a rainy day, play in the puddles. All right. So what do you guys think about the Lovely Layers April showers? So stinking cute. Like love the matching dies. I know. Favorite card ever, said Vicky. Thank you. And then let's see here. And this is what I think about here, like with sentiments. Like I could have put that up there on the front there, but I think it's kind of a fun little, I can send a little hello, happy message, whatever, and then they open it up, and that's so cute. Adorable. I'm in love with this stinking little bird right there. All right. Super. Okay. So Lovely Layers. So this is one set of about, how many Lovely Layers sets do we have this release, Lisa? Like 6, maybe 6 or 7. And I think you guys have seen 2 so far. You've seen the hummingbird and you've seen April showers. Obsessed with Lovely Layers. Me too. I have a little raindrop embellishments. Absolutely, you could do that. Or a little of the stickle stuff, just a little shimmery, glimmery. Let's see here. What did Lisa tell us? Did she answer? She's probably counting because I know she's on her laptop right now. She is multitasking. April showers. This is one set. So in this set, you get the umbrella, you get the boots, you get the bird, and you get all the little flowers all in one set. And then the sentiment set, if you like that one because it has kind of the little rainy day, springy sentiments, it's called Blessings of Spring. This one. It has the little puddles, happy spring. It also has a get well soon, which is great. You are my sunshine. Lots of great and like flowery, floral type stuff. Let's see here. So cute. Okay, and let me hold this up here. Do you see how much prettier it looks like in this light than in my desk light? And I'll take a picture and I'll post it too so you guys can see it. But so pretty. On my buy list. I know, it's adorable. Adorable. I knew you guys were going to love this April showers. I knew you were going to love it. All right. Okay, Lisa, my friend, you know what time it is. It is time for our giveaway this evening. And I'm going to put our winner up here in just a second. I'm going to take a drink of water. Thank you. Thank you. Love the little bird. I know. And there's more little birds in the set. There's a stamp set too that has little birds. Louisa, and I'm Mokazuki. I'm not going to pronounce that correctly. The Southern in me is going to come out, and it's not going to be right. Louisa, you are the winner, my friend. So, Miss Louisa, if you will email me at Kelley, Kelley at honeybeestamps.com, I'm going to send you a prize. If any of you need information on the class that is this Saturday, email me right here and I'll send it to you. Don't stress out about class prep because we're going to prep together for probably, we'll take 20, 30 minutes or whatever, and we'll prep everything. All right. Okay. For those of you joining us in the class on Saturday, I'll see you then, 2 p.m. Eastern. Bye, friends.